The galaxy was never quiet, but on this day it felt like the stars themselves were holding their breath. Every major species, every government, every empire, and every hidden observer watched the same message playing across thousands of screens. It came from the Vorn Dominion, the most feared alien power in known space. Their message was short, sharp, and cold. Humanity will kneel, or humanity will vanish. Those words moved through the galaxy like a blade. Even worlds that had never heard of Earth before felt a strange weight pressing on them. Many believed humanity would break. Others thought Earth would do the smart thing and surrender quickly. And some simply waited to watch humans fall. Inside the United Earth Defense Chamber, the leaders of Earth stood around a large circular table. The room was filled with holograms of different colonies, allies, and commanders. Everyone looked tense except one man, Captain Rhys Arlen. He stood with his hands behind his back, his face calm, almost too calm. He watched the Vorn message replay again on the screen, but his eyes did not show fear. They showed something else, something dangerous. The Vorn Dominion had crushed many worlds before. They were known for burning civilizations in a single day. Their ships were huge, their armies endless, their weapons advanced. Everyone knew the same truth. You did not fight the Vorn Dominion. You obeyed them. Or you died, but humanity was different. Humanity had always been different. When the message ended, a soft silence covered the room. Even the machines seemed quiet. The president looked at Rhys with worry in her eyes. Captain, they want our surrender. And they want it now. Rhys finally spoke, his voice steady. They want our fear, not our surrender. General Mira, standing beside him, disagreed. They have 10 times our numbers. Their war cruisers can destroy continents. Every world is watching. If we resist, we may not survive. Rhys turned his head slightly. If we kneel, we definitely will not survive. There was something heavy in his words. Something everyone felt but did not want to say out loud. Humanity had been watched, tested, and pushed for years. The Vorn Dominion had been waiting for the right moment to strike. And now that moment had arrived. The president breathed slowly. We need time to think. Time to plan. Rhys shook his head. We do not have time. Their first fleet is already moving toward Earth. Every hologram flickered. A new image appeared. A giant Vorn cruiser entering human-controlled space. The alien ship looked like a metal mountain covered in glowing red lines. Its weapons glowed softly, as if they were hungry. Across thousands of colonies, people panicked. Parents held their children close. Workers left their stations. Many stared at the sky, wondering if today would be the last day they ever saw. If the galaxy expected Earth to cry for mercy. But Rhys had no intention of letting that happen. He walked to the center of the room and pressed his hand onto a secure control panel. Everyone watched as a new hologram appeared. It showed Earth from orbit, quiet, peaceful blue. But then something strange appeared above the clouds. Huge dark shapes sleeping in the shadows of the upper atmosphere. They were not visible to the naked eye. They were hidden, waiting. The leaders stared in shock. What are those? Are those ships? How long have they been there? Rhys answered calmly. 8 years, 8 years. 8 years of silence. 8 years of secret building. 8 years of preparing for the moment everyone hoped would never come. Earth had been underestimated for centuries. Other races believed humans were slow, emotional, and weak. They fought each other more than they fought enemies. They wasted time on dreams and art and music instead of building empires. But in the shadows, hidden from the galaxy, humanity had built something unimaginable. Rhys expanded the hologram, revealing massive warships resting above Earth. Their designs were unlike anything known. Sharp, armored, glowing with power, and completely silent. They were created with new technology. Human creativity mixed with stolen alien knowledge and years of experimentation. General Mira spoke first. You built an entire war fleet. In secret? Rhys nodded. We knew this day would come. We knew the Vorn Dominion would never stop testing us, so we built our answer. And what answer is that? The president asked quietly. Rhys looked at the hologram. The sleeping warships floated like metal giants waiting for a command. Our answer is this. Humanity does not kneel. The words hit everyone deeply. Some felt fear. Some felt pride. But all felt something awakening inside them. A spark humans had carried for thousands of years. The spark that helped them survive everything on Earth. the spark that helped them rise from nothing to stars. On the edge of Earth's orbit, more alien ships appeared. Their dark silhouettes shined like knives against the sun. The Vorn Dominion was coming closer. Their weapons were powering up. Earth had minutes left. The defense chamber shook slightly as alien scanners touched the planet. People across the world prayed. Others prepared. Some cried. And some stood firm. Reese took a deep breath. Begin activation sequence. Every monitor flashed red. Warning alarms echoed through the chamber. The sleeping warships above Earth began to glow. Their engines hummed with power. Their shields flickered awake like bright blue wings. The president whispered, "Do you think we can win?" Reese did not look away from the hologram. "I think we can fight. And sometimes, fighting is all you need to change everything." Outside, in the cold of space, the first human battleship fully opened its eyes. Massive lights ran across its hull. A deep, powerful vibration shook the atmosphere. Billions of people on Earth looked up at the sky. The clouds parted. The shadows moved. And humanity's true strength revealed itself. For the first time, the galaxy saw what humans had been hiding. Humanity was not afraid. Humanity was ready, and the sky was about to fill with warships. The world below was silent, but the sky above Earth was waking up like a giant beast. For years, those secret warships had slept in the shadows, hidden behind thick clouds, invisible to alien scanners. Now they were rising slowly, glowing brighter, breaking through the darkness with lines of white and blue light. People on Earth stepped outside their homes, staring upward as the sky changed color. First came a deep humming sound, like the planet itself was breathing. Then the clouds began to swirl in huge circles. Birds flew away in fear. Trees shook from the pressure in the air. The first battleship pushed through the clouds like a mountain made of metal. Children pointed. Soldiers stared. Scientists froze. The ship's hull was black and silver, marked with glowing lines that pulsed like veins. The engines lit up with a bright blue fire that spread across the sky like sunrise, and it was not alone. More shapes moved behind it. 5, 10, 20, 50. One by one, they rose into view. Some were long and sharp like spears. Some were wide and armored like floating fortresses. Some carried massive cannons that looked like they could tear open a moon. The people watching felt awe and fear mixed together. They had known Earth had defenses, but they never imagined something like this. These were not simple warships. These were giants, built for a war humanity never wanted but always expected. Far above, in the command bridge of the flagship, Captain Reese Arlen watched the activation screens come alive. Dozens of young officers worked at their stations, checking shields, engines, and weapons. Their faces were tense, but their hands were steady. Lieutenant Kira spoke first. "All ships report full power. Engines at 100%. Shields stable." Reese nodded. "And the fleet formation?" "Perfect, sir. The ships are moving into position." Outside the windows, the view was breathtaking. The entire fleet stretched across the sky like a wall of metal and light. They did not move randomly. They moved with purpose, with training, with unity. Years of preparation had built this discipline. The alien fleet watching from a distance did not understand what they were seeing. Their scanners could not identify the technology. Their computers sent error signals. Their captains argued. Some believed the human ships were fake holograms. Some believed the humans had stolen forbidden tech. Others believed Earth had secretly allied with a hidden super empire. But none of them believed the real truth. Humanity had built all of this alone. The Vorn Dominion commander watching the scene narrowed his eyes. His ship towered above Earth like a dark god. He had expected fear. He had expected a weak fight. But instead, he saw something that shook him. Humans had prepared. Humans had planned. Humans had been patient. He sent a message across all channels. "Earth, explain this." Reese received the transmission. He stepped forward, his voice calm and strong. "There is nothing to explain. You thought we would kneel. You were wrong." The Vorn commander let out a low, sharp laugh. "You believe these toys can stop us?" Reese did not flinch. "They are not toys. They are the future." The alien screens on every ship flickered. Something massive was rising behind Earth. Something even bigger than the battleships that had already appeared. The commander's smile faded. A huge shadow pushed through the upper atmosphere. People across the world gasped. The clouds broke apart completely. A giant of steel came into view. the largest ship humanity had ever created. The Titan-class dreadnought. It was longer than 10 cities, wider than mountains, heavier than anything built by humans before. Its hull glowed with thousands of lights like stars trapped in metal. On its surface, enormous cannons rotated slowly, preparing for battle. Every alien watching felt a chill inside their bones. The ship did not look like a human creation. It looked like the weapon of an ancient god. On Earth, crowds cheered. It felt like hope was rising with every warship in the sky. It felt like humanity finally had a voice, and that voice was loud. Inside the Titan's control deck, engineers ran checks. Pilots secured the flight paths. Robotic drones moved along the hull, fixing last-minute details. The entire ship shook as its engines reached full power. Lieutenant Kira whispered, "It is beautiful." Reese looked at the massive dreadnought and nodded. "It is more than beautiful. It is our promise, our shield." The alien fleet moved uneasily. Their ships adjusted positions. Their captains sent frantic updates. The Vorn Dominion, known for its confidence and pride, suddenly felt something new. Doubt. On the bridge, Reese spoke quietly. "Broadcast to all colonies." A green light blinked. "You are live, sir." Across every human world, every mining outpost, every station in the outer rim, Reese's voice echoed. "People of Earth and all human colonies, stand strong. You are not alone. You are protected. You are defended. And today you will see humanity's true strength." Billions listened. Some cried. Some stood taller. Some clenched their fists. Reese ended the broadcast with 4 words the galaxy would never forget. "We do not bow." At that moment, the entire fleet synchronized. The engines burned brighter. The ships shifted into their attack positions. The sky filled completely with metal and light. It looked like a second sun had risen. The Vorn commander felt anger rising. "So, this is your answer?" Reese looked straight ahead. "Yes, and it is only the beginning." The alien fleet prepared their weapons. The human fleet did the same. The silence before the storm was over. Now the sky itself was ready to fight. The moment the last human battleship reached its place in the sky, space itself seemed to change. The bright blue glow from humanity's fleet mixed with the deep black of the cosmos, creating a scene that felt unreal. Too powerful, too impossible, too human. But the Vorn Dominion was not silent anymore. Their war cruisers slowly turned, pointing their long, razor-sharp hulls toward Earth. Red energy pulsed across their surfaces like veins filled with fire. Their engines roared with deep vibrations that shook nearby asteroids. Even from the planet's surface, people could see the red glow spreading like angry stars. Inside the main Vorn flagship, Commander Raltek stood at the center of his bridge. His dark armor reflected the red lights flickering across the screens. His eyes narrowed as he studied the human fleet. "Thousands of ships," he muttered. "Hidden for years. Why did the galaxy not see this?" His second officer bowed slightly. "Commander, humans are unpredictable. They hide their strength. They smile while planning war. We should have destroyed them sooner." Raltek growled softly. "We will fix that mistake today." He raised one armored hand. "All ships prepare for attack. Charge primary weapons." The order spread through the Vorn fleet instantly. War cruisers turned into attack lines. Weapons locked onto Earth. Missiles warmed inside launch bays. The atmosphere around their ships shimmered from the rising power. On Earth, alarms screamed across every city. Defense shields activated. Emergency teams rushed to their stations. Civilians crowded around screens, watching every movement with fear and hope mixed together. In the flagship of the human fleet, Captain Reese Arlen watched silently. His crew reported updates one after another. Enemy energy levels rising. "They are locking onto our lead ships. Vorn cruisers entering attack range." Reese nodded calmly. "They will strike first." "Let them." Lieutenant Kira turned to him, shocked. "Sir, you want them to fire first?" "Yes, why?" "Because the galaxy is watching," Reese answered. "And they must see who truly starts this war." Kira swallowed hard but said nothing more. She trusted Reese even when his calm felt almost supernatural. The Vorn Dominion did not wait long. Red beams shot across the battlefield. Hundreds of energy blasts flew toward Earth's fleet, glowing like burning comets. People watching from the surface gasped. Some cried out. Some prayed. The attacks looked powerful enough to tear the sky apart. Inside the human flagship, a quiet voice announced, "Impact in 3 seconds." The crew braced themselves. 3, 2, 1. The first blast struck the human shields. A bright flash exploded across the sky, followed by a massive shockwave. The shields rippled like water pushed by a giant hand. Thick energy veins glowed across the barrier, bending under the force but not breaking. More blasts hit. Another shockwave. And another. The entire defense field shimmered blue and gold, but it held firm like a wall of pure light. Lieutenant Kira stared at the readings. "Shield steady. No breach!" Gasps erupted across the bridge. The Vorn Dominion had expected humans to panic. They expected to break the shield within seconds. They expected an easy victory, but nothing broke. Reese spoke softly, almost like he was speaking to the stars. They expected weak shields. They do not know what we built. In the Vorn flagship, confusion spread fast. "Commander, human shields are not failing." "Impossible." They should have collapsed by now. Raltek slammed his claws on the control panel. "More power. Fire again." The Vorn fleet unleashed another wave of blasts. This time the beams were larger, brighter, filled with more destructive energy. The void lit up in red fire. The human shields flared again, but still held. "Shields at 87%. Kira said, amazed. "We can take much more," Reese nodded. Now, they realized they made a mistake. Below Earth erupted in cheers. Billions of humans who had been trembling moments before now felt something they had never felt against alien empires. Confidence. The Vorn commander was boiling with anger. These humans, these insects, how dare they resist us? His second officer spoke carefully. "Commander, perhaps we should recalculate our strategy." Raltek glared. "Our strategy is simple. We crush them. All ships prepare full volley bombardment." A deep hum started across the fleet. Ship after ship charged its main cannons. The red glow grew brighter and brighter until it turned the darkness of space into something like a blood-colored sunrise. The Vorn fleet prepared its largest strike yet. Inside the human flagship, Reese finally gave the order his crew had been waiting for. "Activate counter formation. Prepare for maneuver Delta 7. Officers straightened immediately. This was no normal plan. This was a strategy they had trained for in secret. A maneuver no alien race had ever seen. Ready thrusters. Form attack triangles. Shift secondary shields forward. The human fleet moved like a single living creature. Ships slid into new positions with smooth precision. Lines of battleships created perfect angles to deflect incoming fire. Smaller ships moved behind the larger ones, ready to strike when the moment came. Reese watched the Vorn Dominion's final attack build to its maximum. Lieutenant Kira whispered, "Sir, if their full volley hits, it will hit," Reese said. "But we will still be standing. How can you be sure?" Reese looked at the battlefield with calm eyes. "Because humanity has prepared for this day for longer than anyone knows." The Vorn Dominion's attack reached its peak. The human fleet braced, the galaxy waited, and then fire. The Vorn fleet unleashed their strongest strike yet. Enough energy to vaporize continents, but this time, humanity was ready to answer. The Vorn Dominion's full-power strike crossed the darkness like a storm of red fire. Hundreds of beams, missiles, and energy bolts shot forward at once, filling the void with blinding light. From Earth's surface, it looked as if the sky itself was cracking open. Billions of people watched the attack with wide, terrified eyes. Inside the human flagship, the alarm screamed louder than before. Lieutenant Kira shouted, "Maximum impact in 5 seconds. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Vorn attack hit. The explosion shook space. A huge wave of red and white light smashed into humanity's shields. The entire sky above Earth lit up like a supernova. For a moment, no one could tell what was happening. The blast swallowed everything. Inside the command deck, the lights flickered. Officers held onto their desks as the ship trembled. The shield reading spiked and dropped and spiked again. Sparks flew from one of the control panels. Kira yelled, "Shields holding at 60%. A wave of relief rushed across the bridge. The strongest Vorn attack had struck them directly, and yet humanity still stood. Captain Reese Arlen did not look relieved. He looked focused. "The moment we stay silent after their strike," he said softly, "they believe we are afraid." He turned to his weapons officer. "Prepare counterattack." The officer blinked. "Sir, full power?" Reese nodded once. "Yes, full power." The room grew quiet. Even the humming engines seemed to pause. For 8 long years, Earth had built its weapons in secret. Every cannon, every railgun, every missile system had been forged with one purpose: to stop the kind of enemy who would never show mercy. Now, those weapons were ready to speak. Kira stared at her screen, whispering as reading after reading appeared. Rail cannons locked, plasma launchers active, quantum missiles charged. Sir, everything is ready. Reese gave the simplest order in the galaxy. Fire. And humanity fired. A line of blinding blue beams shot from the front of the human fleet. They moved so fast that even the Vorn sensors struggled to track them. The beams were silent, but their impact was not. The closest Vorn cruiser exploded in a burst of orange fire, breaking apart like glass under pressure. A second cruiser followed. Then a third. The rail cannons activated next. Metal projectiles wrapped in electromagnetic energy tore through space at impossible speed. They hit Vorn ships before alarms could even warn the crew. Massive holes ripped through armored hulls, splitting several ships in half. The galaxy had never seen humans fight like this. Then came the quantum missiles. They did not explode like normal missiles. They bent space when they detonated, twisting everything around them. Foreign ships caught in the blast were pulled apart, crushed, or warped into broken pieces. The enemy fleet's formation collapsed instantly. Inside the Vorn flagship, Commander Raltek stared at his screens in disbelief. What is this human power? His second officer shouted, "Commander! We are losing ships too fast. We must retreat." Raltek slammed his fist onto the console. "No, the humans cannot defeat us. We are the Dominion. Before he could finish, another human railgun shot pierced one of his escort cruisers, blowing it apart in a violent fireball. The explosion lit up his entire command window. The shockwave rocked his ship. For the first time in his life, Raltek felt fear. Humans were not just resisting. Humans were winning. On the human flagship, the atmosphere changed completely. Officers who had once been tense now worked with sharp confidence. The fear in their eyes was gone, replaced by something stronger. Human pride. Kira watched as more Vorn ships exploded in the distance. "Sir, their fleet is falling apart. They cannot maintain formation." Reese nodded. "As expected, they are powerful, but they never trained for a war against equals, or against someone stronger." Another series of blue beams shot out. 3 more Vorn cruisers vanished. Debris floated across the field like dark confetti. Reese stepped closer to the window. His voice was steady, calm, and cold. "They came to make us kneel, but now, look at them." The entire bridge turned to the view. The Vorn Dominion, the greatest empire of destruction, was running. Their ships turned away from Earth, trying to escape. Engines flared desperately. Some collided with each other in the chaos. Others abandoned their attack lines completely, breaking into smaller groups. Kira whispered, "They are retreating." "They are actually retreating." Reese did not smile. "We are not finished." He raised his hand. "All ships, pursuit mode." The human fleet surged forward. Engines roared like storms. Lights cut through the darkness. The dreadnought Titan led the charge, its huge cannons glowing with electric blue light. The pursuing formation looked like a tidal wave of steel and fire. Every human watching the battle screamed out in pride. Earth's streets filled with cheers. Colonies sent messages of hope. Soldiers hugged each other. Children smiled for the first time that day. Humanity had not only survived the first strike, humanity was pushing the enemy back. Reese spoke through a galaxy-wide channel. "To all worlds watching, know this. Humanity does not fear the darkness. Humanity becomes the light." His words echoed across the stars as human warships chased the Vorn fleet deeper into space. The galaxy now understood a truth it had ignored for centuries. Humans were not the weak ones. Humans were the rising power, and today was only the beginning.